Uncensored Sports is back with another episode, and today we will be reviewing the NFL season in length and the NBA season because preseason just started. But for right now, we playing a little Fortnite until my partner get back. But until then, I got a special message for everybody who's watched, subscribed, and commented throughout the last week. We appreciate you more than you guys know. This is a dream for us, and we're following it. We're going right through the obstacles, and we're pushing through to make this the best stream we can possibly make for you guys. Remember to always like, comment, and subscribe when you come on this channel. You know how we do. Just a preview of today's show. Yesterday was NFL Football Sunday. It was week 4. A lot of great matchups, especially from those 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock games Eastern time. It was a lot of great matchups. And guys, welcome TyThaGoat to the stream. My partner in crime. Today we plan on giving you the whole spill about last night and the weekend, man. We've been gone for a while, bro. We've been gone for a while.
I know, like there was, especially yesterday. Those are some good games in the early games. The 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock games were really good. Man, the Colts game, the Cincinnati game. There's a
whole bunch of some great games. The Bengals Falcons game. Look, we're gonna cover it all. And the thing about
the
today,
Eagles Titans game.
Yo, man, that one was my favorite. I called that upset. Appreciate
that
the
was a good upset.
Exactly, sure was. So, like I said before Tyler came, I just want to appreciate everybody who's watching the stream. Thank you to the one who's watching right now. And we've been getting a great response to this show. We don't want to call it a podcast anymore. We want to call it a show because what me and him do is different. You know, this right here, personally, we just love to bring it to you guys like this live, and we want to give you the guys the option to watch it later on. So this is not really a podcast for us. This is just more me and him analyzing. It's like a show, like a sports show. So that's what we just want to clear that up. And we want to thank you guys for coming in here and watching every single day. For those of you who do, make sure you comment who you are when you come in. Just let us know so we can give you guys a quick shout out. We about to get to it, boy. You ready, Ty? We about to get to it, bro.
Yeah, give me a second. You know, we can get right into it.
David, thank you, bro, so much for watching our stream, just for coming every single time. We appreciate it. We got some good. Matter of fact, the first topic we got is for you, David. So make sure you stay in the stream.
Facts. Alright.
Young Ty, Young Traffic. Appreciate it for you coming in the stream and watching us and supporting us. We love y'all dearly. You ready, Ty? Come on, bro. Tell me you're ready.
Let's get ready. Let's get into Sunday Night Football. Let's go.
Sunday Night Football. Look, so just a quick, how you call that?
Quick review. Recap.
A little quick recap of Sunday Night Football. It's a divisional matchup. Steelers versus Ravens. We knew going in it was going to be a tough fight. We knew that it was going to be a close game. Tyler, you had your eyes on this game all week. Tell me what you saw.
I mean, I think at the beginning of the game, the Ravens came out to a quick 14-0 run. They scored on their first drive. The next drive, the Steelers' first drive, Ben Roethlisberger threw an interception. They got the ball back real fast, and it was a quick start. It was 14-0, but somehow, you know, Big Ben, AB, they fought their way back into it. It was 14-14. And I just think that the Ravens defense got the best of the Steelers offense in the second half.
I like that.
They ended up closing it out 26-14. But I mean, the defense of the Ravens really prevailed in that game, and it showed tremendously, like how much better defensively they were than, not even better, but like how much more ready theirs was than the Steelers, especially for such a big game being a divisional game.
I mean, like I don't know what you guys expected, but I expected toughness within the trenches. You know what I mean? Offensive line, defensive line, getting there. And when the game first started, Joe Flacco went straight down the field. Had a beautiful pass to John Brown, 33 yards. And I thought to myself, I'm like, whoa, this can end up being a shootout. Because to me, It reminded me, like, I just had to think about the Steelers' defense this year. It's not the same defense, and David knows it's not the same defense that they usually put out there. You remember with Palomalo and, you know, them guys, Mike Mitchell, you know, Ryan Clark, when those guys was fully right there, you know what I'm saying? James Harrison. That was the kind of defense we expect. So when Joe Flacco came out and led that first TD drive, I was just like, whoa, okay, this could be a little shootout. And then Mr. Stiff Arm himself, Vance McDonald, fumbled the ball, and I was just like, whoa. And it gave Baltimore great field position.
Yeah, I mean, another big thing. Oh, yeah, my fault. I said interception. Yeah, it was a fumble. My fault. I apologize for that. But another big thing that I feel like all Steelers fans, especially David, you got to look at is Le'Veon Bell's not playing, and James Conner had a horrible game yesterday. Right. He did not show up whatsoever, and for y'all to win that game, y'all needed him to show up.
Well, let's talk about...
That's something y'all needed.
Let me talk about you. I want you to have the Steelers. Let me talk about the team that came out victorious, right?
Wow. All right.
Not even throwing no shots, because I thought the Ravens played they came well prepared to face Big Ben. Big Ben threw under 50% yesterday. No, that's never gonna win you games. And that Ravens defense in the second half turned up the gears, allowing 0 points in the second half. Only thing I would caution the Ravens fans to be careful about is that red zone offense. In the second half, they had 4 trips to the red zone, 4 trips stalled out, and they got field goals by Justin Tucker, who's just Mr. Reliable, and football fans really know who he is because he's just been the best kicker in the league for the last 5 years, and he's had some big kicks against New England in the playoffs, and there's just a whole lot of history with Justin Tucker. I just think that Ravens defense came to play in the second half opposed to the Steelers defense. The Steelers didn't really play, you know, their defense is not qualified right now. They don't have enough, you know, the personnel to be a great defense right now. I get it, and I get that's what David wants specifically. But like you said, James Conner rushed the ball 19 yards on 9 carries, and he only. And
not only that, they only had, for running backs in total, they only had a total of 44 yards rushing. That's not you got to do better.
That's not going to do the job. Exactly. Not. And with Le'Veon Bell, more than just a rushing, you will get a boost rushing because obviously he's a great running back, probably the best in the league. But you will also get that great wide receiver skill set out the backfield, which is key when you play in a great team like the Ravens and a great defense like the Ravens. You know, they're obviously going to put a lot of attention on AB, who still caught a touchdown. You know, man, shout out to AB, bro. Just the most reliable receiver in the league. He doesn't drop passes. He plays really great throughout and that connection between Big Ben and AB is so strong. But like Shafi just said, Baltimore has the #1 defense in the NFL. You know, bar none, and that's exactly what wins games.
And they definitely showed it second half. They showed it hugely second half.
Definitely. The second half proved to me like what was going to be the defining factor in these games. In this game specifically. So like Baltimore, they played tough and they played a real gritty game, and I don't think the Steelers were ready to match that kind of grit. And Joe Flacco played excellent yesterday. You know, just because the 4 field goals, you know, that was a problem I had with it. But the fact that he led 4 consecutive drives downfield for 4 field goals, knowing that his defense can get stops at any time to stop Big Ben, it was just such a good performance by the Ravens. I'm happy to see Flacco looking like his old self. And let me say one thing, real quick. The way they're implementing Lamar Jackson into this offense with little runs like he did, getting key first downs last night, I love it. And to me, it's genius because
that was really good.
Yeah, before Lamar gets any playing time as a thrower, implement him into the team. Let the team know that he can play. You know what I'm saying? And
what that reminds me of is Colin Kaepernick. Before he started for the 49ers, I was like 6'7",
Exactly.
Before he started for the 49ers, he used to come in and do a lot of runs,
a lot of wildcat,
get little first down turn, a lot of plays like that, and he ended up moving into the starting position. So
that's true.
Who knows?
And the thing about it is that Alex Smith was so good. Like Alex Smith was a good talent at the time, but he wasn't ready to show the talent, and Kaepernick took the job. And I kind of see the same thing happening for Flacco. If it's not this year, maybe next year, where Flacco's not really playing up to how he can play. Maybe John Harbaugh looks out to Lamar Jackson and says, "Look, it's your time, like boy, like you gotta, you know." So I don't know how that
Time to
goes,
show up.
but I just love the way they're using him, and we'll get to this later. But the same way that the Ravens are using Lamar Jackson, the Saints are using their backup quarterback out of BYU, Taysom Hill, and I think it's just genius to use quarterbacks like that and just specific play calls. It helps your team out mightily. Joe Flacco gets off the field, even if it's just one play, he gets off the field, and that's all that matters. So that was just a great game to watch overall. Like, it may have been a little dry offensively, but that's how I like it. You know, I don't know about everybody else. I like them old-fashioned defensive grinded games, and I think Baltimore played really well, and they have the Browns next week. That should be a good one. So stay tuned for that Baltimore defense, man. What a revelation this year. I love the way they're playing. Inspired football.
Definitely. What game you want to get into next?
I mean, the Cowboys-Lions game, that really pops out to me as a game that we should cover early and often to show people that we have real strong feelings about what's going on in Dallas, all right? So
Okay.
I'm going to take this one, Ty, because I really was invested into this game yesterday. We've heard talks all week. You've heard talks from me. If you know me, you've heard talks from me about how Dak Prescott is not cut to lead this Dallas Cowboys franchise. You know this Dallas Cowboys franchise is very storied history. Like, they're a very storied franchise. And you need only the best of the best quarterbacks playing. Tony Romo, despite not winning anything, he was one of the best talents that I've ever seen. You know, seeing Dak Prescott play at such a low, poor level, it really has been bothering me the last couple weeks because I know what they need. They need a dose of run-heavy offense. And yesterday, they answered the call for that need. They ran the ball early and often with Ezekiel Elliott, and it proved to be the factor. 150 yards rushing. On top of that, 88 yards catching. Just a multifaceted player who had a lot to show last night, and he showed it. And I think that Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, need to get together and really need to follow through with this game plan. You want to win, Zeke is the best player on your team, bar none. You need, especially on the offensive side. So you need him to have the ball in his hands most of the time. With that being said, Dak Prescott, he impressed me a lot yesterday. He didn't have a perfect game. He had a turnover-free game. And what he did most importantly was make the throws when they needed to be made. That is such a big trait when it comes to winning football games. You're going to have at least 3 times in a game where you can be able to make the throw, right? But you don't. A lot of quarterbacks don't. Dak Prescott did. That big throw to Ezekiel Elliott at the end of the game to set up that field goal from Brett Maher to win the game, that was so key. And it's good to see that unit working together the right way, and it's good to see Jason Garrett running the offense the way that it should be, and that's run heavy with Zeke. How you feel about? I know you watched some of that game together or whatever. How you feel about it?
I mean, like you said, they needed to run. Well, more important, like you said last week, they needed to run more to have a successful game because, as you said, Zeke is the best player on that team. So, I mean, if you want to have any type of success, either way, running or passing the ball, you got to get the ball in his hands to open up other opportunities on the offensive side.
Right.
But me personally, I wasn't really looking at the offense. I was looking more at the defense, and the defense is what's going to kill the Cowboys in the long run. They're not playing really good defense.
Yeah.
Especially their secondary. I mean, let me see. Yeah, my fault. What's the phone call? Continue, bro. Say something. I'm sold.
Hey, Ty. You're right. And I seen that yesterday, and I was just gonna get to that. What was it? 14 to 20, 300 plus yards from Matt Stafford. You're right. He played very well last night. I mean, yesterday afternoon, and it's very encouraging for the Lions. Like, and this is what I was gonna stress today. The Lions fans should be very encouraged with the last 2 weeks. With a win against New England, and to come out here and play hard against that tough Dallas pass rush, DeMarcus Lawrence with another 2 sacks this game. You're right. Matt Stafford was balling. He was balling hard yesterday, and I think his connection with Golden Tate and Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones is just gonna get stronger as the year goes on. And I think that the Lions turning around this year. This is one of the sleeper teams that I had in the beginning of the season about how I felt like they can do so much with the talent that they do have. However, they've gotten some bad breaks, some bad calls going their way. But Matt Staff is a a good quarterback, and I know he's gonna turn this around for his team. Aaron Rodgers. We'll get to that game, David. We'll get to that game. And at the end, there's gonna be a 20-minute. We're gonna take 20 to 30 minutes of answering comments and all of that. So yeah, no, just so we won't get off topic with our topics and all of that. So what game do we got up next, Top?
What game you want to go to? Well, do you want to get into the Aaron Rodgers game? I mean, we could, because he made some strong comments after the game.
Sure, exactly.
I mean,
and this is what we look at with Aaron Rodgers. Every single year he has those newspaper quotes that just really catch your attention. But let's get to the game first. Buffalo at Green Bay, and let's just say the rookie quarterback Josh Allen looked really bad. And that's expected. He's a rookie, and he was probably the most ready for he was probably the most labeled project that there was coming out of the 2018 NFL draft. And the reason why he was called a project is because not because of his talent, but more so because of his inconsistency at Wyoming, at the University of Wyoming. So his inconsistency was a big problem. He has a good arm. He just doesn't have the intangibles, the mental state. And that's what a lot of people say, but he can be great with some time, with some learning. But yesterday wasn't a good day at all. 2 interceptions is not acceptable. Even as a rookie, it's not acceptable to turn the ball over. You know, and that's every rookie yesterday, Evan, and we'll go over that. That's every single one.
Agreed. Adding on to that team is trying to fight, and I'm not about to. But to lean more into that, I mean, he had a bad game, but the defense really didn't help because the Bills are actually a decent run defense this year. Well, one of the better ones. Like, they were ranked 5th before the game. Going into this game, they were ranked 5th in the run defense category. But the Packers somehow they kind of ran over this team. I mean, they had a really good running game yesterday, I have to say. Hold on, let me hold the right side. Yeah, I'll get him off the back. Hold on, man. Just decided to play Fortnite while we're doing this, right? And now look at us. This is not a good. Okay, I'm not joining in. I'm folding. I'm folding this in for you, bro.
Well, we're.
Yep. This was not a good game to play.
Yep. Well, I'm getting off of this. We're gonna go to